chaotic. And, there's people standing in line, and the line was moving extremely slow, and people in wheelchairs came in, and they were flying to the head of the line. It's like, I mean, these people have to stand, and you're just sitting there, like, I don't know, it's just
Yeah,
something that didn't make sense to me. And I
never
know,
really
like, some places, I mean, not like a roller coaster, but there's certain places where I could see people on crutches. I mean, that's in my opinion, understandable. But I don't know, wheelchairs is just something that eludes me. So.
I guess it depends on what kind of condition the person in the wheelchair has. Like if it's something serious, like if they're in a wheelchair because of a serious condition, then I guess they should be allowed. But if their situation's not that serious, then maybe they shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, but you can't really make that call just by looking at them. It's like, oh, well, that person over there with the cast on their leg, they don't have as serious as a condition as the person who, is kind of like has a dazed look on their face. You can't.
Yeah.
It becomes I don't know, like a status, not status, but like I don't know. I mean, I don't think they should get special, line privileges or anything like that. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough.
I don't know. I mean, it's the same sort of thing that the other guy's talking about. Like, if you're in a film queue, like if you're going to go watch a film, there's no reason why the salesperson should go in front of you because there's no real benefit to it. But in a queue for sort of medical treatment or something, if they're in a wheelchair, they've already been diagnosed with something wrong with them. So I can understand why they're in front of you because if you go to get a checkup or you think you got something wrong with you, and there's someone in front of you who has something wrong with them, I don't see why that would cause an issue because they know there's something wrong with them.
I'll actually do a little clarification at what kind of medical facility I work at. I don't know how much you guys know about drugs.
More than I'd like to know.
I know some things.
I don't know if you guys know what methadone is.
Meth? Crystal meth?
No, not crystal meth. Completely different. Methadone.
What is it?
It's an artificial opiate, and what it's used for is to treat people with addictions to heroin or I'm trying to think of another one off the top of my head right now, and I'm blanking out.
PCP?
No, that's not an opiate. Vicodin. Vicodin's a big one that people get addicted to. You go in the hospital,
Right.
You have surgery, you have Vicodin, and sometimes it's hard to get off of it. And we have, both the people that are on the streets, the homeless people that are sticking needles in their arms, rigging, and we also have people that were in the military and have gotten hurt and have needed major surgery done and were in a lot of pain, so they had Vicodin and they became addicted to it. So I work in a addiction rehab clinic.
All right.
Basically.
Wow, dude.
So just kind of clarify what kind of medical clinic I work at. So.
All right. So it's tough, I guess, since everyone has problems, right?
Yeah, they're all there to.
Well, yeah, they're all.
What methadone is used for is it's a lot safer than heroin because you're not sticking needles in your arms, you're not risking transferring any sort of diseases to each other. You have people that are dependent. Once you use like heroin or opium for so long, you become physically dependent on it. And what happens is some of the people that are there are going to be on it for the rest of their lives because they need it to survive, more or less. Otherwise, they're going to be extremely sick and could very well die without it. And this is used as a safer alternative. And at the same time, there are people there that are using heroin they're addicted to it, but they're not physically addicted to it. So they use that to titrate off. That way they can makes it a little safer. And I don't know if it's easier or not to get off of it, but it helps. I like to think it helps anyways.
Well, yeah, dude. First of all, that's kind of cool. You're like doing good. You're doing good for people. I mean, I'm jealous. I wish I could have a job like that.
I'm just working front desk though, so.
Still, I mean,
I
see it all. Good.
Like one of the worst neighborhoods in the city, so.
Oh god, must be tough.
I guess that's it. Want to move on to the stories?
I know, Seb. You got anything? You got anything to rant about?
No, he said no.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's move on. You guys read the stories, right?
Yeah.
I think I read a few of them at work today.
All right. Father tries to get a hooker for his son.
This story's awesome.
Seb,
yeah, you're from the Midlands, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, well, we're gonna get one of those lads for yes, we're gonna do that. Yeah, you get those guys from Midlands, and I bet you tomorrow I'm gonna have a load of people who heard this thing go in the hall. Yeah, I suppose it's. I guess my dad actually sort of he never really took a sort of no, you can't do that to my sexual life. So anything I wanted to do was generally okay with him. Like you've probably heard the story before, but one time I was with an ex. We were having sex downstairs in my sort of room where I live downstairs. This is my parents' house, and he sort of walked in a little bit slightly and saw us two in the middle of it. He just walked out again afterwards. He didn't say anything about it. And then we went to bed. And the next day, I saw him downstairs installing a lock on the door so you wouldn't see anything ever again. And then I was running out of condoms as well, and I kind of let it slip. And then I got back from school, and I saw a box of condoms on the table with a note from my dad saying, "Be careful," and that was it.
Wow.
That's
So I
so
suppose
cool.
I can understand where this guy is coming from, but to get a hooker, I don't know. I think that's taking it a bit too far. I mean, yeah, encouraging your son, get more friends over from school, like a girl from school, give him chocolates and a bottle of wine or something. Yeah, that's fair play. But get a hooker,
Sorry.
Oh, jeez. Well.
Okay, I just need to comment on the total cultural differences I think we're experiencing right here, because over here, in the United States, I think if a father gets a hooker for his son, that father's going to be seen as a horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, the teenagers are going to be seen as like, oh, that's cool. I wish I had your dad. But I mean, it's like the adults be like, wow, that guy's horrible.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. My favorite line of the article was, he said his dad did this because he was still a virgin and he was taking care of that for him.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
That's
If I went to my dad now and said, "Dad, I'm a virgin," if he hasn't seen or heard anything before, all he'd do is just laugh at me. Say, you're too ugly. That's all he'd say.
Well, he's only 14. I mean, he had plenty of time to lose his virginity.
To mention a hooker of all things, I mean, that's your father got you a hooker, but what other diseases did he give you
Yeah.
in doing so?
exactly.
One of my father's friends tried getting me when I was like, nah, I'm cool. I was
No.
16 at the time. I was, nah, do not want.
My
Stick to
friend,
strip clubs.
my friend had sex with a hooker, and he just said it's like a bucket. He couldn't feel anything at all. If you're 14, I mean, I lost my virginity at 14. I couldn't remember anything really. It was just sort of like, this is apparently what we do. Ooh, this is cool. Oh, it's over. Oh. Anyway, so let's watch TV. Yeah.
2 minutes later, you're done. Or,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I lost it basically a minute. Yeah, sort of. Yeah, if 14-year-old, the legal age for consent is 16 in the UK. I'm sure it's the same in the US as well. But
Yeah.
for a 14-year-old son, that's illegal, and also 14-year-old. I don't think that's the best thing to do for a 14-year-old. I can admire the father for it. I know it's what to do, but there are boundaries to what you can do and what you can't do, and what you shouldn't do as well.
Yeah.
Out here it's 18, and then 17 in some states, and then some states I think you need to be related in order to.
Related.
Deep South.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know here in Washington, I'm pretty sure it's 16. But unless it's like, actually, yeah, it's I'm pretty sure it's 16.
Yes.
16?
Yeah, it's
It is.
16 in New Jersey too.
Oh, I guess if you can't really get in trouble if you're
Yeah.
two 16-year-olds having sex, but on the other hand, if it was a 20 and a 16-year-old,
That's just creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but legally it's allowed. It's weird because
definitely not allowed out here.
No. Because a college guy is going after some high school girl. That's creepy.
Yeah, I would.
What's wrong with that?
Very, very creepy, but it's It's
Well,
not legal. For a 16 and a 15-year-old to have sex here is illegal, which is very very weird. And another rule as well, which is kind of weird, is you can't view pornography or any pornographic material until you're 18. So technically, if you film yourself having sex at the age of 16, you can't view it until you're 18.
Make a time
can't
capsule
see
for
that.
yourself.
No, can't do that. Can't have a look at it. Close your eyes. No, I can't see what I'm doing. Getting in the wrong hole, getting in your ear, but I can't look what's in.
Oh my god. Seb, I love you. So hilarious. What about the next story?
Oh, let's go on to that one. Oh yeah, of all the hookers that kid chose, he chose an undercover cop. How unlucky is that?
Good observation from Bob there. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, that's needle in the haystack there, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe. Depending on what street he was on, I
There are a
guess.
lot of undercover cops out in the streets. That's all the time. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
I know. I've got a mate who's in the police force, and he says that I can't say this. Number one, I'm not allowed to, but I can't say the statistic anyway. But he says that if you're out like at night time in a car and looking for girls,